It's June 9th. It's now 8:11 New York time, so it's about 5 p.m. in Los Angeles, and here's where we're at. First up, some very good news. The SEIU president, David Huerta, who had been detained since Friday when he got scooped up in an ICE raid, has been released on bail. So the vigils today and the protests demanding the release of David Huerta worked. He has been released, and he is joining SEIU at trying to make sure that the rest of the union organizers and labor protesters are safe and have a plan to stay safe and peaceful moving forward. Next, and this is from the BBC, Gavin Newsom has sued the Trump administration for unlawfully deploying the National Guard. He said that Trump did that without approval from the head of state of California. Local authorities had the protest under control. Despite that, Trump invoked emergency powers, something that he has done more times than any other president in the history of presidents. Newsom said it was a power grab that cost the sovereignty of the state of California. Newsom is saying that Trump is violating states' rights to control their own militias and determine how their laws should be enforced. Remember that the National Guard is controlled by the state governors because they come from the idea of the colonial militias. So before we had one standing army, each one of the states had their own militia. Those militias have evolved into being the National Guard, who report to the army. Newsom said in his phone call with Donald Trump, he didn't feel like he was dealing with the same Trump he dealt with 4 years ago. Trump wasn't able to keep a train of thought. He was jumping from idea to idea. And overall, it was very clear that he had a sort of bloodlust or derangement at the idea of having Marines enter Los Angeles, that is just something he wants to see so badly. And he wants to send all these Marines, despite the fact that the 300 of 2,000 National Guard members that are in LA right now are just kind of like camped out on the floor. There is not massive unrest for them to address. There aren't ICE sweeps happening right now where they need to protect the federal officers doing sweeps. And no budget was allocated for food or fuel or housing for the National Guard. And there is no budget allocated for the Marines who are coming up. So we are just sort of compounding on the issue here. The Marines that he wants to mobilize from 29 Palms still haven't left. And it's possible that they could leave in the morning, but there has to be a reason for them to go. So if you look at the fact that the protests have been going on for 4 days and the protest demand of releasing David Huerta was met today, people should go home. There's nothing that would embarrass Donald Trump more than if people went home for now and the Marines showed up and there was nothing for them to do. And it was obvious that it was a waste of taxpayer time and dollars. Trump hasn't even signed the executive order invoking the Insurrection Act that would allow the Marines to actually do anything other than stand outside federal buildings. And the way we're covering this, let's keep the focus on the fact that Donald Trump is deranged, misspending tax dollars, and misusing our military. The Marines and the National Guard don't want to be in there any more than we don't want them in there. If people stay peaceful or stay home, there's nothing for them to do.